HS2 is a recently approved government proposal for a new high-speed rail link that, once complete, will cut through the countryside to connect London to Birmingham. On close inspection, the HS2 link is economically unviable, costing the UK taxpayer £32 billion, working out at about £100,000 per yard of railway. At a time of national austerity and deeply penetrating spending cuts, a grand vanity project costing each household £1,500 is not what the UK needs. With no business backing, the taxpayer will bear the full brunt of the bill to fund a train that will only be used by those wealthy enough to afford it. It is no surprise, therefore, that the inflated price of the railway should reflect the inflated price of the tickets, predicted at 27% above inflation. The brute fact is that people are more concerned with price than efficiency, and with tickets likely to be in excess of £80, only those on large incomes will be able to afford it. The simple truth is that faster journey times do not drive demand, as proved with HS1 and other grand failures abroad. The proponents of the rail network boast that saved time will equate to increased productivity, yet they seem to forget that time on a train is not necessarily time wasted. Of course, one can still use a laptop, smartphone, etc. to work. Video conferencing and other such like make up for any lost time on physical travel. They rely on the almost laughable notion that minuscule time saving for high-income passengers will translate into economic gains and promote prosperity and happiness. There is little to no evidence within the government consultation document that a new railway network would promote economic growth. If the aim of the network is to reduce the north-south divide and improve prospects for inner-city areas, then the improvement of road networks, for instance, would be a much more efficient way to direct funds. Further research, of course, would need to be done to establish which areas would benefit and how. This simply has not been done. HS1 has already been deemed a failure, running on 10% capacity being too expensive to use. Investment should be proportional to the needs of the network, the benefits and the number of people benefited. For every £6 of investment, only £1 will be generated. It seems illogical to carry ahead like this. Claims that the project is intended to help ordinary commuters on congested services are lies to cover up the fact that this project is merely concerned in building an expensive vanity project for fat cats. In fact, the project will increase journey times on the most congested station in the UK, Paddington. The government seems to have little care to the environment or those lives who will be ruined. The proposed route will cut through areas of outstanding natural beauty, destroy entire villages, leaving thousands of people to fight compensation battles for years to come. A public consultation was carried out in which 95% of participants disapproved of the railway. Despite this overwhelming public disapproval, the government insists on going ahead with it. It is a shocking display of autocratic decision-making, giving people the illusion of having their say while unilaterally approving the project with no parliamentary debate. It is a sorry state indeed. The reasons for its approval are down to strong political lobby of influential contractors and consultants, the very people who will benefit, plus the need to gain northern conservative votes who see the project as anti-southern and pro-north. This project merely reflects the dangerous amount of power industrial lobbyists have in Whitehall. The decision has been made without consideration of the devastating effects on the countryside or the hundreds of thousands of people who live along the route. Unfortunately, it is these lobbyists who have sided with the left and dismissed the opposition as wealthy home-owning NIMBYs who care more about their front lawn than national infrastructure. The reality is that all taxpayers and transport users should be opposed to this ridiculous white elephant that will, like every other British project, go over time and over budget. It is worrying to say the least that those along the route were not allowed any input whatsoever, and that anyone seeking to defend their local environment is just dismissed as ignorant and selfish. The Green Party have declared the project environmentally unsound due to the unsustainable damage to local communities and the environment, producing twice the emissions of a normal train. Claims that HS2 will reduce car and air travel are minimal and simply does not justify such an expensive project. Furthermore, the sheer speed of the railway will mean it needs to travel in straight sections, not allowing for any curve compromises, further adding to the destruction of the countryside through which it passes. To conclude, the HS2 should not get the go-ahead. It is a waste of public money that will do much more damage than good. Yes, Britain's rail networks need improving, but this is not the way to do it. Alternatives were neither explored nor consulted. We want a transport system that provides a high-quality service to all income groups. To quote the Huntington Post, HS2 is a socially regressive project. If the aim of the project is to create jobs and reduce greenhouse emission, then there are other, much more cost-efficient ways of doing so. It has the weakest business case, the poorest justification of any project for over a generation. What we need is not glamorous, expensive vanity projects, casting us further into national debt, but using the limited resources available to fund practical but boring and unglamorous projects that will make a real difference. The economic case for HS2 is weak, very weak, and will not improve conditions of the congested railways, as ordinary commuters will simply not sacrifice vast amounts more money on a marginally better service. Already, without a spade touching the ground, £750 million of public money has been spent on the issue. The scale of spending and the interest concerning means that the project has triumphed over all reason. £32.7 billion spent, just so a few rich businessmen can get to Birmingham 20 minutes faster, all at the expense of the countryside.
Let's get down tonight.
I quite like trains.